and how mightily the weather conditions can change. Tip of the hole on the national anthem. Justin Brent on the call here today as we get all set for League One Ontario play between the 5-8-1 Windsor City FC and the 1-11-2 Masters Football Academy Saints. The weather conditions entering today, very rainy to say the very least. In fact, just about an hour or so ago, lightning storms were in the vicinity of Acumen Stadium. Well, since those lightning strikes, the sky has started to get much brighter here in Windsor, and in turn, the rainy conditions have mostly dissipated before today's matchup here at the campus of St. Clair College. As a matter of fact, humidity at 58% and rising as the game gets all set. Wind gusts expect to be as high as 29 kilometers an hour today, feeling like 29. Let's talk about the teams in amongst themselves today as we get ready to see how Masters Football Academy plays things out today. Starting in net for them today is Ricardo Watson with Sam Tabrizi, along with Anthony Wright. Luca Carbone, along with Stefan Nikolic, along with Zion Richards. The captain today, Terrell Spencer, alongside Jason Alvarado, along with DeAndre Brands, Christian Echamaya, and Malik DeFreitas, the starting lineup. For Windsor City FC, they look to bounce back after a loss last time out with Dante Carrero in net today once more. Then it's Mark David Siegel starting alongside Gianfranco Faccineri. The captain is Bastian Aguilera with Matthew Andreas and Andre Emanov. Jose Babone and Jonathan Agapito alongside one of the top scorers in the league this season, Owen Antoniuk, with Callian Lobel and Braden Stevanovic. The starting lineup, Stevanovic in number 14 today rather than 18. Today's officials include Mabub Gilstani, along with Joey Philippic, along with Vito Pipitoni, alongside Tanya Candido, the fourth official for today's matchup. Expecting an intriguing one, to say the very least. Masters FA looking to try and find a way to get a double-digit goals scored coming in to close out the season in the final 6 or 7 matchups. Windsor City FC looking to approach that 500 mark in wins and losses. See if they can close that gap for the closing of the campaign. Again, glad to have you with us today here on We Digital for what's expected to be an intriguing one. The second to last home matchup of the season, all taking part. What's expected to be a busy day here at the facility, especially with it being United Way's Backpacks for Success program donation day through Absolute Comfort Control Services. In control early, Windsor City FC. We're underway from Acumen Stadium. Starting things off, Andreas. Pass back to Siegel. Faccineri after the initial pass, rolling it on back amongst the defenders. Patience already being showcased by Windsor City FC, coming off a 3-2 loss in their last appearance. Looking to move down the line for the first attack on the far side. Picked up instead by Masters FA. The Saints knock it out and throw in, coming in this time from Tabrizi. Going short. Quickly tackled back, but rolled back away for a second throw-in. When it comes to Windsor City, looking to try and come back after a 3-2 loss against North Toronto in the Nitros. They led 2-0 early in that match before 3 straight goals, including the decider in own goal. Across, hard contact, 3 players go flying, and whistles go up as well. And already signaling for the training staff as 3 players collide going for the first shot attempt. 1 defender, 1 attacker, and the goalkeeper all collide. See right there, hard contact. The goalkeeper used as the wedge. Anthony Wright being helped up on one side. One of the Windsor City FC forwards being helped on the other. This coming just within the first couple minutes unofficially. Here's a slow motion look right there, hard contact. Windsor City FC player heading off the backside. The Masters FA player heading up the front. That is Antoniuk with 11 goals this season being held there. It looks like after the checks with the training staff, all set to go with the goalkeeper with positioning. Looking for a little bit of space now. Watson. Far goal kick just past midfield. Cherry wrestling it away. Kicked back by Lobel. Windsor City FC looking for a little bit of space now on past the other side. Taken back on the rush. Facineri tackled hard down and multiple whistles fly. Back the other direction. Free kick. Chimina on the whistle. Tied up with Facineri. Windsor City sets up for the free kick. All the way to the far side, headed out. Throw in taken this time by Windsor City. Stefanovic, tap back. Move back to the midfield. Just around unofficially 3 minutes into this matchup. Here on We Digital Productions. Down the side. And poked around Alvarado. Kept to the turf. Chimina looks around the midfield logo with Spencer alongside. Spencer near side. Move back around the center field. Back and forth passings. Chimina and another whistle. Another free kick. Lots of free kick opportunities building early going here. When it comes to this Scarborough and Pickering area-based squad, looking to try and get in the win column for the first time since their 1-0 victory against North Mississauga SC back on June the 21st. After their match, either a loss or a tie. They actually tied against FC London just about 8 days ago. Move back inside their own territory and continuing to have to move it around. Squad led by Giuseppe Matisrasso as the coach. Move back to midfield. Move back to Freitas. Looking to try and play possession control early. This has been something that's popped up much of the season in terms of the difficulties with possession defense. Move back around from the midfield mark again. Nikolic. Move back to Ichima. Yeah, Nikolic. Keep away continues. Alvarado. Looking to try and set up the attack. Headed away. Aguilera on the breakup at midfield. It goes for Windsor City. Andreas. Seen his attack presence increase as of late, working with Siegel. Siegel looks back instead to Lobel. About 5 minutes down unofficially on the clock. 0-0 here on We Digital. Header grazed off a couple players, taken back again by Masters FA. Squad started in the mid-2000s. A one-time League One Ontario Championship squad just back in 2019. Foreseeing the past 2 seasons towards the bottom of the table. Just 7 goals this season for Masters Football Academy and the Saints. Taken back up the field, up the far side for the attack. Look for space on the far shot and a slide. Takes it away. Siegel sets up for the first corner in turn of the day. So Carrero getting set for potentially his first major pressure of this match. Carrero has been depended upon as the goalkeeper all season. 26 goals allowed in 13 matches. More than 1,100 minutes played in 2023. An airplane flies above. Masters FA looks to fly into the box. For the header, the dive, the second chance. Carrero bounces it away. Kick back out of the box. Lobel gets a piece of it. And Windsor City FC is able to get it away from trouble. Carrero has had to stand on his head several times this season, able to do so there. Move back around the midfield. On the back and forth. Hard passing from Spencer, rolled around by Branch. Moved up to Freitas. Electing to go up the middle route instead. Scatterplotting. Looking back towards the reset to Spencer. Quickly passing Nikolic to Spencer. Spencer to Nikolic. Dragged along Carbone. Back to Spencer. Working around Antoniuk. Tapped around and taken away by Facineri. One of the stronger defenders much of this season. Setting up the strong offensive chance. Pabon looking to get there, can't. Watson on the far kick. Picked up by Windsor City midfield. That throw-in signaled. Around the scoreboard. Agapito in the midst of that battle. Just about 8 minutes through. Already a couple shots on the board credited. That's a result for Masters FA. Still no shots faced for Ricardo Watson. His 8th start in 2023. 10 goals allowed in those 7 previous starts. Siegel. Continuation called Andreas. Back to the logos. Lobel. Looking back to Carrero. The game of keep away continues. With the wet conditions today, both sides keeping towards the turf more so than going up in the air, usually the style utilized by Windsor City. Carrero giving to Facineri. Drags it along the ground. Move to Andreas, and that goes for a throw-in in touch through Masters FA. Here's a look at the scenario with Carrero. See the header chance, and then a massive dive. Take a lot of opportunities on Anthony Wright on the initial header. Throw in once again signaled. Thrown into touch this time by Windsor City. And that moves it instead up about 30 yards around midfield. Get a big day when it comes to this organization, when it comes to his charity efforts, raising school supply donations through Absolute Comfort Control Services for United Way. They look to try and find a way to unite themselves into the box. Poked away, Pabon can't get it past the defender. Bounced around a couple times. Nikolic on the quick header, Carbone. Nikolic back again, back and forth. Liking to go short on the passing game so far. Called around Anthony Wright. It's time elect to go all the way back to Watson. Trying to pass short. Kick back instead. Branch. Now it's Nikolic. Looking to go very far crossfield. Does on the target. Dancing around Richards. Pass back towards the middle. Pressure. Carrero gets to it. 3 shots already for Windsor City FC to face. Pressure building about 10.5 minutes unofficially through this first half of play. Aguilera now goes to the air. Bone looking for the bounce. And throw in. Will be thrown into touch by Masters FA. That's why you see it bounce last touch indeed on the right foot of Bone. Watson. So moved again. Nikolic working back and forth. Now looking to swap around. Nikolic moves towards the logo. Midfield. Floated instead towards Spencer. Very quick pass. Roll back to Spencer. Nikolic works again with Carbone. Now Carbone moves it back to the far side. Stretching out with Anthony Wright. Move back again. On the far pass. Freitas can't get it back around and picked back up by Windsor City. It's going to go back and forth when it comes to the passing game. But back in terms of today's event, Defendant supporting the United Way's Backpacks for Success, which provides school supplies for students in kindergarten through grade 12 in the region. Andreas in the region to make a shot attempt. Poked around twice. Stopped and picked up on the save by Watson. Taken up in turn on the rush ahead. Nikolic. Worked up by Carbone. Back around the midfield mark. Rordo, far side. Rordo gets the pass again. Right. Calling for the regroup. Only one player alongside. Now moving it over to Nikolic. Back to right. Continuing to pass to an interception. On the far shot from 40, 50 yards out, he scores! You talk about putting it up on a tee? How about that for a far shot? Windsor City FC's on the board. It's 1-0. An unreal sequence to start off the scoring here today. Comes on just the second Windsor City shot. And the first came from very close. Aguilera calls for the traffic as we set back up. 1-0. Moved around in the sequence. Nikolic. Worked by Spencer. Aguilera has indeed been credited with the first goal of the match. It's 1-0.
FC goal scored by number 5, Bastian Aguilera.
For the throw-in, Windsor City. Taking their time. Now around the 14th minute. Worked around midfield. And a bit of a miscue. Spencer retreats back. Given back to Branch.
There has been a correction.
Now,
Number 11.
they have now corrected the goal mark to Owen Antoniuk for his 12th goal of the season, with Aguilera on the assist. Antoniuk, with his 12th goal of 2023, puts him 2 goals behind the top mark in the league throughout today's matches. Up the field, Windsor City can't keep it in. Bring it back into touch, Masters FA. And it's worth noting for Antoniuk, it's been a very stellar stretch as of late. Because a couple weeks ago, just a couple goals on the season. Then all of a sudden, a 4-goal match. Then another hat trick. And all of a sudden, you have one of the top scorers of the season going red hot in July. Andreas setting up the chance. It's Pabon. The shot scores! Expand the gap. It's 2-0. Pabon breaking around the corner of Branch. And for Pabon,
Windsor FC goal.
it's now his 3rd of the season and his 11th match. 2 goals and about 3.5, 4 minutes of play. Just about all set to get back underway. And it looks like play is blown back in now. Masters FA have not scored a goal themselves, it's worth noting, since that June 21st victory. Although they've come very close today already. Working around, it's Branch. Up to Spencer. Worked up Nikolic. Pressure from Carbone. Carbone gets it back. Now worked to the playmaker right. Rolled along Carbone. Looking to set up the pass towards the box. Picked up Carrero. Rolled down for Vacineri. The excitement building up early. This charity day for Windsor City FC. Their second last home matchup of the season. 2-0 after goal scored by Antoniuk and Pabon. 13th and 16th minute, respectively, unofficially. Looking for the cross. Not going to get there, and Siegel lets it roll out to set up a throw-in. On the short play. Work back to Vacineri. Looking, passing to Aguilera. Round midfield mark. It's kept to the ground. Pabon passes it to nowhere to Branch. And in turn, Watson moves it ahead. Unofficially in minute 18 of this first half of play. After having a 50-minute delay due to weather conditions, Windsor City FC is bringing on the scoring, pouring in 2 goals. And the score is lined up 4 minutes unofficially. Looking for a chance again here. And a good chance setting up possibly off the throw-in. Agapito keeps the momentum going. Gives to Siegel. Move back to Pabon. Siegel works around the defense. Sprinting to the goal line. Captain touch. Couldn't get the cross to the box. Passed out of trouble to Carbone. Carbone. Showing off the speed. Now working Nikolic. On the tackle, it's Andreas. Lobel. Andreas. Vacineri. Andreas. Siegel. Looking to work with Andreas. Trying to set up a similar play as to before. Could it? Aguilera. Carries it. Now moved around far side. Stevanovic wanting it today. Up to the Pabon. And free kick called. Delayed on the whistle at first. Masters FA Saints with the kick. Set it from about midfield. Now getting back to the discussion when it comes to Masters FA and their history, one of the intriguing things that stood out is their first major point. An organization that makes it clear they do not cut players from under 7 to competitive levels. They look to build talent. They have a chance in open space for a goal. It scores. Etchema, after the deflection off Carrero, puts it in. It's 2-1. Their first goal in more than a month. Carrero can't make the catch, and in turn, 2 players, no chance. And an open space despite the 1 defender there.
Masters FA goal scored for number 11, Zion Richards.
Richards, in turn, has now been given credit, apparently, to the goal mark, which would be Richards' first. In that regard, Etchema, depending on the score line, would be a second. Regardless, it's 2-1. And throw-in signaled. Throw in to touch for Masters FA. After the throw-in, another whistle. And back the other direction. Looking at the slide tackle. Coming that time on the far side. Look to be DeFreitas. And it looks like the officials having discussions. Ichima. And as expected, Ichima is indeed given credit to goal 2 of the season. 2-1. On the free kick, Andrea's far side, looking to the left foot, on the pass around, couldn't get a one-time style shot to go in, and it's over the woodwork. Almost a hockey style play there. Taniuk trying to get a second goal. Instead, it's a goal kick. Up from Watson. Headed down by Windsor City. Lobel. Knocked down, taken down. Spencer. On the pass back and forth. Wobbled by Branch. Roll up by Wright. Stopping. Moving. Back to Wright. Worked around in the midst of the Jukes. Nikolic taken back away. Windsor up the far side and back to Masters FA it goes. Look at the quick replay sequence here. You can see some of the positioning for the previous couple moments there. Difficult it's been for players like Lobel to cut through the pressure. So in the midst of things, the signal now overturned. Windsor City FC sends up to the throw. Looking towards the side. Looking towards some of the ball players for today. The 2015 Windsor TFC Stompers. Helping out along the sides today. See them, some of those players in their pink t-shirts. Others up at the grandstands. Free kick now the call after everything. Looking for a cross. Instead, it misses everything except for the checkered end zone. Unofficially in the 24th minute, 2-1 Windsor City. Pavone can't get the header, sets up a chance in a breakup. Kick back out for a throw-in. Looking at the score lines, Ichima again is the second goal for Ichima this season. Just the second player, mind you, to reach 2 goals for the entire team. The other being Terrell Spencer. Ichima has done so in about half the amount of matches compared to the captain, though. Plays in the midfield. Windsor City taken back. On the slide tackle, Windsor City FC taking a quick throw in to keep the momentum going. Stevanovic. Tap back. And a whistle. Back the other way. Masters FA free kick. Very physical, the early goings as well here. See this Y right there off the tangle of the legs. Back in terms of discussion of Masters FA and the history marks. Organization seeing the ball poked around. Worked through Junior Groves, player originally from a Jamaican soccer club that had experience with various different clubs, for eventually seeing the inception of the club birthed by the Canadian rep soccer team from 1988. When he was asked to join the programs back in 1999 to assist, turned to by 2006, confederations came to be, and so far 150 plus players with scholarships to collegiate soccer, several going pro. Out of touch, setting it back into touch. Masters FA. Rolled on the far side. On the tap. For it is the cross, broken around and picked back around for a shot, missing the woodwork. Goal kick. Two teams towards the lower third of the table coming into today, looking to elevate their statuses. But both teams so far have lived up to some of the billing, especially after the storms. Spencer sees the pass back. Rolled all the way back around, this time back to right. And back over to Watson. Watson sees it back from right. Moved up the middle. Might have went the wrong way if not off the official. Moved back the other way by Alvarado. On the bounce, Nikolic. Taken back towards the pressure. Back away from it instead to Nikolic. Tracking around Alvarado. Continuing to try and open up the path. Watson works with right. Just past halfway to the first half of play, unofficially. Right. Once again, back to Watson. Watson slips on the turf. Picked up by Windsor City. Move to Andreas. Stepping left, looking with the right foot. Loaded back the other way and forced to reset. Ball back to Aguilera. Working with Agapito. Stefanovic. Sees it back over to Aguilera. Facineri. Siegel. Andreas. Siegel. Walk to midfield. Facineri. Aguilera. Scanning. Floating. And lining over to Watson. Rolled over Branch. Looking to try and open up lanes. Ichima. Spencer. Back around Ichima. Nikolic. Back and forth. Just two defenders back in that mark with the goalkeeper. Rardo works it again to right. Pizzo trying to force communication. Watson gets it away from it. Generi tackle back on the receive. Spencer. Looking towards the angle. Misses. Goal kick. Sails out there, but be sure to stay tuned after today's matchup for the Windsor City FC Flames Fried Chicken Man of the Match presentation. Be sure to stop by Flames Fried Chicken today by going to 561 Wyandotte Street East. Some of the most delicious chicken you'll find in the city. Working around midfield, free kick, Masters FA. Antoniuk battling for the ball that time, making contact. And that leg nearly to the face is why. So just about from midfield, about 10 yards shy of it. Right. Looking for straight on. More of the cue shot, couldn't get it. Pass to Spencer. Out for a throw-in into touch to Windsor City FC. Possibly offsides if it was touched. Keep in mind, the condensation is still a major factor of how this game is being played. We've already seen one goalkeeper slip on a pass. Already the ball getting cleaned up with the slickness today. Spencer trying to make some slick moves. Andreas makes the slick one as well. Work back around. Antoniuk works to the left wing. Stefanovic pass back to Antoniuk. And they want free. No. Rules out. Masters FA free. Not throw. Yes, it is a throw in after the arm went up before it even went out. Throw short. Ichima. Pump back to the air. Headed away, Aguilera with the head. From Nikolic. Freitas. Through the troubles. To Breezy. Breezy, quick flick. It's been one of the things they have been solid at. Quick passes, short angles. Trying to pass on the dot, this time on the leg Carbone. Double team, taken away on the third player. Dreas can't walk it away. Spencer. Wobbled around, Nikolic. Looking to the near side. And out of touch, keeping it in touch on the throw. Masters FA are bringing it back to it, rather. Looking at the replay, you see some of the contact there initially from the battle for the ball. It has been physical here, too. On the bounce. Carbone. Working with Nikolic. Spencer. Flanked back. Verardo, the hook. And kicked up in the air with 1 foot. Amanov. Battles with Richards. Taken back. Moved around to the defensive layer. A little too strong initial pass. They elect to reset it. Richards. Again to Branch. Nikolic. Barbone. Spencer. Nikolic. Walked around by Branch. More quick tiki-taka style passes. Take it away, and one player is down for Windsor City FC. That is Agapito. He's gone down trying to make a kick on the ball. And immediately a stoppage. Which right there, you see the twist up, trying to get it with the bottom of the cleat.
Fans, today's game is available for viewing on MeDigital.ca.
And Agapito appears to want to stay in.
For all your food and beverage needs. Thank you.
So we'll stay in the match after that sequence. Third time's the charm to discuss today's charity actions today. As mentioned, United Way's Backpacks for Success coming up with the new school year. Windsor City FC making it third time's the charm for an attack. Pizzo, second chance, blocked by a diving defender. That was Anthony Wright, as that goes to the parking lot. Is that a handball? No, it's a knee ball. Back into play. Another chance. The shot knocked away by Watson. Corner coming up. Antoniuk on the shot, and now a couple balls are now set up around the parking lot. One's in the sun, one is somewhere in the rain, and back at least on the turf. First corner opportunity, intriguingly enough, for Windsor City today. Most of the chances have gone to Masters FA from the corner. Looking low, headed away. On the rebound, Agapito, second chance. Over the woodwork. And into some of the scoreboards. Pizza with some very good reflexes, but it's Watson with the better save. The second chance going sailing over. For those keeping track at home, it's 3 for 3 in terms of mentioning today's charity matchup. In terms of opportunities Windsor City FC has produced. It's worth mentioning that backpacks are going to be distributed by United Way and our local community programs after today's matchup based on donations throughout today's festivities. For those in attendance, several also having their organizations send backpacks through today's events for the charity actions. Free kick called, about 5 yards back, they'll regroup. And quickly, Windsor City FC takes it back the other way. Antonia passed ahead, going short on the shot. And Watson gets it after what was a very quick sequence from a signal of free to a Windsor City FC attack. Moved up by Spencer and over some golf carts. Throw in for Masters FC FA. On the short play to Freitas. Antoniuk takes it back around. Looking. Stevanovic. Still trying to sprint around the corner. Nearly got tied up with Watson. Goal kick for Watson regardless. Unofficially in minute 37. Lobel taking it away. Momentum, Windsor City controls it. But Bone goes down on one, he gets back up. Now taken by Masters FA. Kick back, taken back. Carrero kicks it back the other direction. Headed to Spencer. And Spencer wants it walk out. Throwing it back into touch, Windsor City with Siegel. Facineri. Looking around for Siegel. Dreas kicked off the side of Spencer. Siegel on the slide. Andreas heads it over. And Capizzo can't get to it. Kicked away by Alvarado. On the deflect around, Carbone. Worked around, Nikolic. Carbone. Nikolic. Reach with the right foot. And free kick again. Nikolic quickly passed around. And offsides potential. Goes for knock. Carrero gets it. Carrero rolled over to Facineri. Facineri trying to draw around the traffic. Pass around Antoniuk. Picked back up midfield. Kicked around by Pabon and away as another player is down. Alvarado is down. This is why. Possibly got hooked to one of the legs of a Windsor City FC player. Let's take a look at the recent scored lines and the next game for Windsor City. As mentioned, it's been a rough period at times. The last win for them against the bottom of the table, Borussia Dortmund International Academy Waterloo squad. Losing last time to North Toronto Nitros. They go on the road for about a month after today before their final home game of the season, all the way in August. Long time from now, to say the very least, against Electric City. Saturday, August the 19th, the only Saturday game of the year under the lights. Rolling it into pressure, Windsor City. Watson picked it up. Ichima. Sees the pass. Watches the pass to right. Around the midfield, broken away, Lobel. Siegel to Facineri. Lobel. Looking saucered. And out of touch, handball regardless. Throw into touch by Masters FA again. Look, we're running out of time in this first half of play as another throw-in for Windsor City. 2-1 still the score line after 3 goals in the first 20 minutes of unofficial play. Work inside Masters FA zone. Running around the corner to Breezy, and that goes out. Masters FA possession, and a player quickly to walk to get the ball. Let's take a look at the previous replay sequence. You see some of the field positioning already, how things have tried to spread apart. A lot more short distance passes, as we've mentioned, from Masters FA on their focal plan, it seems. Windsor City trying to go and spread it from one side to the other and then potentially cross on the third option. After the whistle, free kick. And it looks like now a discussion with the Masters FA bench. And the officials not happy with some of the verbalage coming from some of the bench players, it appears. So the coach is now completing that discussion. Didn't see any signal of a card, but already 3 players having discussions down there, back underway. And another free kick. Now a couple more words. Freitas wants to kick the ball quickly, moving Lobel with him and away. Nikolic. Having a conference call to decide who wants to kick it. Looks like Spencer now. 4 players set up for the wall for Windsor City FC. From 31 yards from the woodwork. And just a little bit over the woodwork. Goal kick, Carrero. Carrero not liking the positioning. He has preferred to his right as of late. Wind gusts, by the way, have died to a near standstill, except in the one spot he's positioned. The slice. Headed up. Andreas is there. Working around Branch. Passed off a Branch. Into the space and collisions for the kick for Spencer. Freitas, quick pass. Nikolic. Looking for the attack with Carbone. Carbone from far out, just over the woodwork by 3 feet. Quick passing around, running out of time in this first half of play. Siegel looks to soar ahead and tapped out, throw in. Windsor City FC to bring it back into touch. No signals for substitutions yet for those just tuning on in early on. And this one off and out on the touch from Andreas. And to added time we go. Just 1 minute of added time signaled for, and a free kick Windsor City.
The fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of
Playing to about the 46th minute on the top of your screens here in this first half of play. Windsor City FC having the advantage. Facineri taking his time. Now looking quick. Antoniuk. From far out again, just over top. This likely to end the half. Last attack. Watson. The kick. Lobel heads it. On the bounce, it's Spencer. Spencer looking in the box. Looking to break it away, Emanov. And rolls it up. Antoniuk allowed the chance to attack. Andreas looking, sparing, deflecting. Andreas puts it in to end the first half. It's 3-1.
Windsor City FC.
The third goal of the season for Andreas comes
By number 7.
right as they have been trying to increase his presence offensively. And just before the halftime whistles, that gap of 2-1 goes to 3-1. Back in underway, and to the locker rooms we go. Halfway through this matchup of League One Ontario play, Windsor City FC taking a commanding 3-1 advantage with 3 different goal scores.
3. And
What will happen in the second half, we'll see here on We Did It All.
stop in the Zuckerman Tennis Center or Saints Cafe for cold drinks, slushies, hot dogs, chicken fingers, fries, and more. Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's coverage of League One Ontario play. As Windsor City FC is up 3-1. Just Prince with you. Here's a look at the scoreline. Antonio adding his 12th goal of the season, a team best. 13th minute started the scoring, with Babone adding to that score tally just minutes later. Then it was Ichima after a deflection off the goalkeeper Carrero, who put in Master FA's first goal since June the 21st. However, in the 45th minute +2, so the extra time should say, it was Andreas who deflected it in off the hand of the goalkeeper Watson to extend the gap to 2. Looking over at some of the various conditions here, as the wind has calmed down to one of its calmer tempos of the season, might I add, here at Acumen Stadium, after being basically raining sideways just 2 hours ago. Welcome to Windsor weather, and welcome to southwestern Ontario, where the weather can change in an instant. The question will be, what will change in these instances the next 45 minutes plus here in the second last home game League One Ontario play for Windsor City FC this season. Remember, for Windsor City FC, after this matchup, it's a long 4-week road stretch. If they come back home to finish out the season, it's one of the top teams in the table, Electric City, in mid-August. Some of the final play designs being discussed with the management staff. Again, Giuseppe Matarazzo leading the way as team-wise. Managers include Devin Porter, Justin Grove, Junior Grove, should say. Coach Vanzo Fasolino. Look to try and see if they can add to that one goal. It's been a difficult part of their season. Now 8 scored this season. Just one match with 2 goals. That was against Alliance United FC, May the 27th. Just about set to go as both teams finish up their final discussions. Looks like Francis Amya will be amongst those substituted in for Masters FA Saints. It's actually coming in to set up just outside the center logos in the midfield. See if they can get the scoring going. Remember to stay tuned after the game for the Windsor City FC Flings Fried Chicken Man of the Match presentation. We'll see which player gets honored as the Man of the Match for Windsor City FC today. Flings Fried Chicken, located just around downtown Windsor. Freitas sets up with the ball. The official waits for the exact time, and now we are set and underway. Nikolake starting things off with some passing with Spencer. Walking around Ichima. Now it's Branch. Right. Work to Branch. Nikolake. Looking, going back to Branch. Moved around to right. Back to the goalkeeper, Watson. Right. Looking to kick ahead, does. To Breezy. Not so easy to get around, and a Windsor City FC player is down after a kick to the stomach area. Whistles now blow. And that was right as DeBreezy was trying to kick it away after the initial header attempt. And watch the leg. Right here is the reason. The right leg going across to a sensitive area. It's Agapito, it appears, who is down on the pitch. Hamadov checking on his teammate with the training staff, discussing things with Agapito. Again, 3-1 the score line for Windsor City FC early on in the second half. Let's take a look at the scorelines yesterday. Some big scorelines to keep an eye on, especially with the relegation road to 2024. The one you should be circling in the midst of that, a couple you should be, in fact, should say, Woodbridge, Hamilton. They're both tied. They were both tied entering today. Hamilton United 2-0 over Pro Stars yesterday. Woodbridge 2-2 the draw to FC London. Huge score lines there. Also a draw, North Toronto and Lions United. Electric City and Vaughan also drawn 0-0. The pressure really building amongst that bubble because most of the teams have solidified themselves, like Soapy, Blue Devils, Electric City, Guelph, Vaughan, Missouri. But then you have that battle amongst teams like Burlington, Woodbridge, Hamilton, who are so close on that bubble. For reference, Windsor City FC entered the day double digits back of that cut line. In fact, 9.75 points back, based on 75% of the 2022 points, 100% of this season's points. Masters FA, well, out of that positioning. Speaking of positioning, had error away from Windsor City. Andreas positions it away.
FA substitution in the 45th minute. Coming onto the
Looking around at Spencer.
Francis Emion, and coming off the pitch is number 11, Zion Mitchell.
The Freitas far out from the Woodbridge. No good. That'll set up the goal kick for Carrero. So far today, the shot count 5 apiece. Carrero would like to go to his preferred side. It's time for the wind towards his face. The ball, a little bit shorter distance. Picked up by Masters FA. DeBreezy, taken away. Amadov. Off on the quick pass, out of the reach of Agapito. Looking ahead, Ichima. Work to the bounce. It's Emania on the cross around. And to the grandstands nearly to bring it back into touch. Masters. After the play, Nikolic. Now setting to the other side. Ichima. Reset the branch. Maneuvering to right. Nikolic. Moving to DeBreezy. Keeps it to the ground. And Yaw. Short play. Carrero scoops it up in time. Wait for the pressure. Taking a look at the sequence, you see how tight that was to a goal kick scenario. Regardless, Windsor City FC takes it away. Looking for their first attack of the half. Pabon. Up to Agapito on the slide tackle and broken up by Wright. Throw-in signaled for. Windsor City FC brings it back into touch. Short play. Let's do it again. Just about 5 minutes into this half of play, unofficially. Move back all the way to Faginary as they look to regroup. Antoniuk. Near side. Stevanovic. Finding an initial pass. Pizzo, and Masters FA takes the throw-in instead. Amadov to throw. Looking at some of the fans as they've made their way over for today's festivities. Take part in the charitable actions, but also to watch some soccer. Some of the younger clubs for Windsor and its franchises playing on earlier. That's sailing over the woodwork and for a goal kick. Quickly, it's Watson. On the battle for the header, Andreas on the bounce. Worked up far side for the cross. Doesn't get there. Watson dives on top of it. Watson's second slide on the turf today. Things have dried out a lot a bit, to say it politely, from earlier. To very rainy conditions, sprinkling to start off the match. It's gone to sunny conditions and very hot and humid. Agapizzo now sees it intercepted, bounced a couple times. Ichima. Cross back to the other side, diving in the air. Facineri breaks it, kicks it. Stevanovic, handball, either way, other direction. Off the right hand and out of touch. Masters FA brings it. Nikolic. Right into the tackle of Babone. 4 attackers ahead. Toniuk misses left. Goal kick. Masters FA looking to pick up their passing attack a bit. No shots on target so far this half. Oh, and a trip up. And a whistle. The official reaching to this pocket for the card.
Number 6.
It's Anthony Wright. Yellow card. First time today. That coming in the 54th minute unofficially for Wright.
Number 6 has been shown a yellow card. That is Anthony Wright.
Wright, in turn, drawing the free kick from very close range. For Wright, his 8th yellow card of 2023. Just 2 blockers. Headed away, and that sets up a corner instead. Not a lot of Windsor City FC traffic in front initially. Keep an eye on this positioning. Just 3 players so far outside the box now after the initial shot. There is Wright, as mentioned. Plenty of yellow cards towards his direction this season. He actually leads the club in yellow cards. Very low trajectory. Spencer sends it to a higher one. Amanov setting up a chance. Up the field, Emmanuel losing it, now is down. Yeah, reaching for one of the ankles. Amadov watching. Aguilera now saying for things to stop, and they just elect to kick it out for a throw-in after all that to Masters FA. Yeah, originally on the rush, getting hooked leg to leg. And after that sequence, it looks like they've now given it to Windsor City off the throw. Facineri. Amanov. Ukrainian player moving right. Lobel. Moving from the midfield. Now Facineri. Andreas. Hops. Skips. Bring it back to the touch. This time, Windsor City. Andreas hops it for a pass. Gets it back. Gets a trip down. Continuation called. And back the other direction for Masters FA. DeFreitas. And a quick whistle for a free kick. Couple substitutions signal for it. Looks like the board popping up there on the far side. 8 for 9 is that signal. That would be Devontae Brown for Luca Carbone. So the second substitution today for the Scarborough-Pickering region.
56th minute, number 8, Devontae Brown is coming off the pitch.
Looking up, it's right. On the bounce, a couple players sliding. But Windsor City FC trying to get a little bit slippery. Facineri passed up, open space, off the slide tackle, still keeps it up. Facineri, the shot, looking for a rebound, scores! Windsor City FC expands the gap. It's 4-1 on the rebound. Pabon, second of the day. And the gap grows.
Windsor City FC goal scored by number 9.
And just like that, Pabon has doubled the score count from 2 to 4 on the season. See Watson appearing to stay in. There is one other goalkeeper available if necessary, Alexander Burt. There's the stat line. Back it away. 58th minute unofficially. Work directly through traffic. Rondo looking it around. Nikolic. Spencer. Trying to get a deflection of his own, instead kick to midfield. Another whistle, right. Free kick. And right. Trying to whistle after the play there. See, hooked up that time with the bone. And it looks like the re-kick. From about 43 yards from the woodwork. Headed away, Lobel. And it goes right back to the defenders. By Branch. Watson. Quickly kicked back over. Taniuk. Stevanovic. Taniuk. Agapito. Taniuk. Stevanovic. Through the wickets. Knocked off the ball a couple times. And Taniuk squeezes through. Couldn't get the ball to hold on, however. Freitas back the other direction. Watching with Spencer. Spencer with it. Work Nikolic. Spencer. Working down. And a whistle. Spencer this time is down. The whistles continue to flare. It's the previous sequence that nearly developed the shot. See, close, that developed there. Speaking of what developed for the whistle, there's another catch. Agapito caught up on the cleat. Free kick for the free kick. You see the coaching staff watch along. Making the 3.5, 4 hour drive up to Windsor for this match today. Looking, heading. No good. Carrero gets it. Carrero calling for some space in the box. Likes to give it instead to Facineri. Midfield. Pabon. Up the near side. Emanov. From Taniuk. The bouncing ball picked up by Nikolic. Kicks it on the turf. Emania. Looking. Curling away, headed away. Corner kick signaled for. And that'll come from the far side. A rare far side attack. There's a look at the substitutions, by the way, for Masters FA. Several players warming up potentially here. Early 2 changes with 9 players available. From the sight lines, the bicyclist. Siegel heads it away. Headed back to the box. On the shot, Carrero. Scrambles, does the splits, scores. Masters FA puts it in. Terrell Spencer, the captain. It's 4-2. Spencer leads the team now in goals with 3. After a hectic scenario.
Goal scored in the 63rd minute by number 13, Terrell Spencer.
So just like that, Masters FA with their first 2-goal match in a long while. May the 27th was the last time they did so, and a loss to Alliance United FC. That's tied for their most amount of goals in a match all year. Unofficially in the 63rd minute. Amanov. Agapito watching Antoniuk. Pass to the box. The slide. Rolled out by Watson, corner. Antoniuk to set up the corner. Elects to pass it instead to Facineri. Antoniuk wants another from tight. Swings through. And what's the signal? It looks like it counts. Pabon. And now Pabon wanting at the count. They've now waved it off. No goals, the official signal. See that squeaking from Watson. And after Windsor City FC initially thought it was theirs, Masters FA rolls it ahead. Taken away. Antoniuk. Move back. Low bell. And offside. Possible goal kick now is truthfully. Here's the score line, 4-2. Brown. Once was on that attack previous. Was Spencer. 4-2, your score line. 65th minute. Unofficially with Spencer. And out of touch. Goal kick. Windsor City. Carrero again moves it back, and now there's a yellow card in hand for Carrero. Or is that for the bench? Carrero, it appears. Still kicks it away.
Yellow card issued to Windsor City FC.
On the attack, over the woodwork.
Number 1,
Antoniuk.
in the 66th minute of play.
Carrero picking up the first yellow card for a goalkeeper for Windsor City FC this season. Watson kicks it. It's around by Evanaw. Bouncing to Brown. Just tight ropes it. Going right. Spencer. Again, right. Branch. Around Nicolay. And that goes out. Emmanuel, the target on a pass. And our substitution signaled for. It's by Masters FA. Coming out of the match, Christian Ichima after scoring earlier for Daniel Avila. Third change for Masters FA. Unofficially now in minute 67, working to 68. 4-2 to the stat line. Andreas open. Watson squeaks it. Spencer. Moved around to Avila. Nicolay. Gets it back.
Masters FA substitute
to Breezy.
in the 68th minute. Coming
Nicolay.
up the pitch is
And a chance after a shot of a tackle attempt to Vila. Vila right into the attempt of Aguilera.
off the pitch is number 18, Christian.
Antoniuk voids the jumping kick. And tackle whistle, free kick. Verardo. Let's take a quick look. And already quick signals for the booking. Notepad coming out quickly for 15, Jason Alvarado.
Yellow card issued.
Yellow card confirmed.
In the 68th minute to
Verardo's 6th yellow card this year.
Alvarado.
For the free kick. Headed away. Emanov. Facineri. Work to Stevanovic. Looking to live up to that hat trick early this season. Slide out. And a crab walk. Play keeps going. Emmanuel with Aguilera. Aguilera trying to tackle it away. Trip up. Continuation. Emanov wants to go somewhere. Gets it back. There to step around. Stevanovic forced to pass. Antoniuk. Stevanovic. Through it to Facineri. Near side again. Pito Lobel. Siegel. Facineri. Up and sailing off the header. Taken back by Windsor. Lobel. Around this time, Agapito. Andreas. Setting the chance from the far side. Off the deflection. And just out of the range of a possible rebound shot for Antoniuk. How close did this come? Too close. Moving ahead to Breezy. Right back into a near tackle scenario of Vila. To Breezy. Work back to right. On the sail. DeFreitas. Spencer. DeFreitas. Spencer. Walk around to Emmanuel. Spencer this time saying we'll go the other way. Nicolay. Out out of the range of a rushing DeVritas and out of touch for a goal kick. Windsor City FC to bring it back in with a quick move by Facineri. Amanyov. Couldn't get Antoniuk to hold on yet. Now it's Stevanovic. Trying to set up a far attack and rolling instead. Watson. Rolling towards the closing stages of this match. 4-2 Windsor City FC, the scoreline. Unofficially in the 72nd minute of play. Tackle near midfield and delayed whistle, free kick. Alvarado. And another card. And that is Pabon on the yellow card.
A yellow card has been issued to Windsor City FC's number 9.
That's his first of the year. Comes in unofficially the 73rd minute. So when it comes to the card situation, gone to 3 total at least already in the second half. On the pass to Strong. Amanyov the target, goal kick once again. It's been a while since the last shot on credit for Masters FA in the Saints. Just one shot this half. Worked up the field. Stevanovic. A quick header. Antoniuk. Running to open space. Giving Andreas a lot more space to the outside. First regroup. Antoniuk. Andreas. The give and go. Too strong on the go. A goal kick, signal 4. Let's take a look at the other 3 matchups today. Just a little bit of time, if not currently going, in fact. Borussia Dortmund's International Academy Waterloo against North Mississauga. Also, Simcoe County and Guelph United just 30 minutes after, but a late start. A 9 p.m. start for Skroskopi and Sigma FC. Skroskopi leading the way in wins with 12 this season. Cross League One Ontario play. Masters FA trying to find a way to cut through for a shot. Nikolic. It's again Branch. Now work Avila. Passes to traffic. Freitas. Spencer on the give and go. Short floater taken back in the box. And a handball is signaled for Windsor City FC. Free kick, and a player is down to the box. And it's off of DeFreitas on that handball situation. And just like that, one of the Windsor City FC players to be stretched in.
12 for 90.
Substitution is signaled for Timothy Cordova. Substituted in for DeVritas. Train staff is currently on the field with the stretching going on for one of the Windsor City FC players. Let's take a look at Masters Football Academy's upcoming schedule and previous games. In the previous matchups, as mentioned, losses and ties much of the way. But Vaughan Azzurri, not going to be an easy matchup for them next on July the 30th, a week's time. That's the 5th best team in the table, just a point back of Guelph United entering the weekend. This all coming after several matches lost in a row, but a tie against FC London. In their most recent tilt, 8 days ago, that losing streak had been 3 caps long for that one win of the year against North Mississauga SC. So, be sure to stay tuned at the conclusion of this matchup once more, because the Windsor City FC Flames Fried Chicken Man of the Match presentation. If you want yourself some chicken, you're in luck. You can give a call to 519-252-8319. Be sure to get yourself some chicken ready to go from White Street East, just around the downtown core, a couple blocks away from McDougal Street. Be sure to get yourself some chicken today. So it looks like we may have a change coming for Windsor City FC after the injury stoppage. See what the board says in a moment. Oh, wow. Stevanovic flicks it up. Looking to the new substitution for the attack. No good. That's Marcos Gorolga. The oldest players on the roster. In fact, he is the oldest. 27, 28 years old. 1995 is the birth year. Worked around to Devontae Brown. Intercepted. Emanov. And tackle down. Emanov now down. Now some more crowd blocking. Agapito and whistles fly for a free kick. This is just as the substitution board was getting prepared for Jose Pabon for Gianni Ferry. Here's the reasoning here for this whistle. This was the tackle. And in turn, there was the whistle moments later for a free.
Masters FA.
But Ferry is in.
The 79th minute.
There is also
To the pitch,
a change.
Carmine Anthony Martino. Coming off the pitch is number 9, Luca Carbone.
Carbone has also come out in the same number swap, intriguingly enough, with Cameron Anthony Martino, it appears. Up along the far side, tackle away. Andreas. Gain far side, Ferry. And whistles, free kick, and now Ferry knocks down a player. Ferry with the helping assist, back up, and kicked away. This is the reason. You see one tug, the one shove, and then the one fall down about 5 steps away. Nikolic. Brown. Right to Nikolic. Right. Back to Nikolic. Kicked ahead. Alvarado and headed by a jumping Windsor City FC defender. Tabrizi. Nikolic. Pass to way open space and out of the range of Emanov. Closing down on time, unofficially in the 80th minute. 4-2 is still the line, and a signal for another change. 20 for 5. And that might actually be Martino. For Tabrizi, all of a sudden. Some of the young players having some fun in the back drop. Oh, and the battle in the air. Moved up, Cordova. Looking on the cut. Round the corner. Quick catch. Corral. Roll down. Signaled upfield. Treyas to it, and Watson instead gets it. Back along Martino. Watson concurs to his colleague to the left. Far side. Right. Changes course. Redirects it. Looks right to Martino. Worked up on the pass. And kicked back to Carrero. Things winding down here in Windsor. Depending on how things play out in the closing stages, Windsor City FC in line for their 6th victory of the year. Masters FA, potentially their 12th loss. Looking to change that line. Masters FA. Facineri, the breakup. Cordova. Slide down and a signal. Goal kick. Cordova wanting the push, doesn't get it. Tapped on the ground and taken away by Spencer. Trying to get open space, couldn't keep on it. Now it's Ferry. Just inside the onside flag. Ferry floats it off the wickets. Ferry so close to having a very spectacular goal. Instead, it stays a 2-goal difference. On the ground, it's right. Passed around, Nikolic. Again, looking far. Turnover starting to build as Carrero wants to kick it. Carrero trying to direct himself to the right. Now wants the box empty. Kicks it from a crowd instead. Another 1-on-1 foot race. Martino with Stevanovic. Stevanovic gets held. Nearly gets the jersey ripped off. And nearly has his shorts ripped off. Yellow card. Because yes. Free kick just outside the box. See how that developed on the wickets previous, on the side of the post.
A yellow card has been issued to Masters FA in the 85th minute.
So they will credit the free kick from the first grab of the clothing. Will it be Emanov or will it be Antoniuk on the attempt, though? The last time they had a chance like this towards the corner, they passed to Antoniuk. It looks like Antoniuk will take it. He does. And it's headed directly back for a throw-in. And another substitution signaled forward on the far side. The board's up. And coming out, Andreas. 1 goal today. Coming in, Mario Badacum for the first time today. And for the first time on the home pitch, in fact. And for the first time this season.
86th minute. Coming onto the pitch is number 19, Romario Bactum. And coming...
Bactum setting up amongst those in the box.
Andres.
Yellow cards flying. Ball flies on the touch for another throw. The touch off Windsor City. Antoniuk. Facineri. Lobel. Carrero. Facineri. Aguilera. Set up. Backham. Couldn't hold on to the positioning. Now back along the near side. Brown Taken back. Stevanovic. Emanov. Bit of power to Fashionary. On a couple deflection down, and another whistle for free. Cordova knocked down in the sequence. Says, let's take a look at what comes next for soccer. One more home game for Windsor City. This will be Electric City FC coming into town. One of the top teams this season. 31 points on the table. 5 back of Scrosopi for the top of the table in the regular season. 7 p.m. The only nighttime fully scheduled game of the season. Saturday, August the 19th. Here at We Digital. So the substitution signal for is Josh Atwall in. Spencer looking in on a quick flick. Carrero. Tense throw. Now does roll. Tonyok.
Masters FA substitution in the 88th minute.
Emanov.
Josh Atwell, number 70, coming in for number 10, Stephen.
Substitution was Nikolic, by the way.
Also, the next game is the season finale on Saturday, August 19th.
Poke around Martino.
7 p.m. Windsor City will host
Final few minutes.
City FC
Full time unofficially.
here at Afternoon Stadium.
Four official getting ready to signal for what the out of time will be here. Martino. Have to throw it in again. Aguilera. And it looks like signal to the other direction. Like handball might have been noticed by the near side official. Aguilera free. And now there's some discussion here before they can kick it. Past midfield. Off the header. Trying to keep it around and take it away by Masters FA as everybody draws whistles for free. Masters FA trying to go quick. Headed away by Fashionary. Low bell to the sky. Now Stevanovic. Looking for the dagger. Off the back of a leg. Tonyuk from the even farther dagger. Squeaks out on top of the woodwork in the mesh for a corner.
Stay tuned after the game for the Flings Fried Chicken Man of the Match presentation.
So close to what could have been a combined 70-80 yards of distance on Antoniuk shots from target to the back of the net. Watson just gets it over by an inch or two. Full time complete, 4 minutes of added time. We'll be working to about the 94th minute at the top of your screen.
The official has indicated
Ferry can't get the deflection.
of 4 minutes of added time.
Fashionary. Tonyuk lifts it, kicks it off the back of a teammate. Move back to Spencer. Looking for a cross. Fashionary breaks the message up. So after the 4 minutes of added time to the board, Windsor City looking to keep away. Down the far side and out to Branch. Throw in. Bring it into touch. This time, Quirliga. Instead, will give it off to a teammate. Working far side off the tug. Masters FA, Spencer. Kicks it off, Antoniuk now floats it over. Still a chance. And a poke. And a throw. Avila on the attack. Atwall far side. 2 shots in this half so far for Masters FA. Can they get at least one more? Carrero at least gets to it. And yes, they get one more. That counts as a shot attempt. Stevanovic. Can it get nifty? Can't. Spinning around. On the steal, Emanov. Ferry. Emanov running in the lane taken. Spencer moves it now ahead. Around midfield, Siegel. Groga gets one player to jump. Windsor City FC. A spurt of some momentum before their final major road trip of the season. During this homestand, 2-1. 2 wins, 1 loss. They're having a 3-match losing streak on the road to end out June and start July. With a minute to work with, focus now gets set for Derby, Woodbridge, FC London, and Burlington. Final minute. Aguilera kicking forward. Chance for a spoiler. Aguilera gets it. Kickabout a couple times over. 2 players are down on the turf. Both Brown and Emanov are down. Emya sees it out in a corner. Signaled for. And the training staff's being signaled for right before the end of the match. Emanov gets up, but Brown is taking time. Now Emanov is down a second time, right at the end of the projected total. Similar to what happened in the first half of play. Eventually, Windsor City FC did put in a goal, remember. They're originally projected to be 1 minute of added time. It turned into 2 with a goal. So both training staffs checking on the players before we close things out here in Windsor on We Digital. Once again, remember, stay tuned, post-game coverage. The player of the match for Windsor City FC, the Flames Fried Chicken player of the match. So they'll be awarded on field with a presentation. A couple players you can argue honorable for that. Also, Electric City FC, one more time to mention, coming into town for the final game of the season for Windsor City FC, Saturday, August the 19th, 7 p.m. So a Saturday match. The only Saturday scheduled game at home this year for Windsor City. Brown's back up and Emanov is being walked towards the sideline. See what goes on here. It's still a corner situation. See how many minutes they get. Some of the players just confirming things before they get going. That's Anthony Wright. From the far side. And knocked down to the box. No whistles yet for Brown. Pop to Carrero. And now the whistles can blow. Windsor City FC picks up win number 6 on the table. 6-8-1 the record, 4-2 their score line. Remember to stay tuned. Post-match coverage coming up here on We Digital. The man of the match brought to you by Flames Fried Chicken, located near downtown Windsor. Bone leading the way down on the stat sheet. Toniak and Andreas putting in goals as well, with Ichima and Brown putting in goals for Masters FA. Masters FA tied for the most goals scored in a match this season with 2. The second time they've done so. Players look to close things out with their celebrations after a busy match. But you know who have some time? Able to celebrate a Man of the Match award? Those working the way towards center field in the next moment or so. Because despite the yellow card in the later stages of today's matchup, argue Pabon being the most fitting of that mark. There he is right there. 2 goals today. Doubles his goal total on the season. After lots of work to get Pabon involved, he gets himself a Man of the Match. Brought to you by Flames Fried Chicken.
Thank you all for coming and supporting our Windsor City FC.
His teammates celebrate a victory before their final road trip of the season. Still, one more home matchup to close it out as well in August. With that note being said, it's time to say goodbye. The rest of our broadcast crew, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching League One Ontario play. 4-2, Windsor City FC is your final. Good night.